Just now I'm staying in a very smart hotel for work. And one of the few things I packed to come away with me, because it's just overnight, is this mask. If you don't know the Dr. Harris mask, let me introduce you. It is particularly clever, really helpful. It can soften your frown lines. It can make you feel more relaxed. And it was created by my friend Dr. Stephen Harris, who is a brilliant aesthetic doctor who you may have seen me talking with in videos. And you are brilliant doctor, aren't you? You've got to say yes.
Yes, I am.
As a kind of side project, he had worked out the skin has these not so much acupressure points as mechanoreceptors in the skin, little receptors in the skin which are sensitive to pressure. And if you press on the right ones, they can have a relaxing effect on the facial muscles. So he came up with the idea for this mask, which looks very simple, but it is not. So how does it work? These little bubbles press on pressure-sensitive receptors in the skin. They're in a pattern, you can see, and that creates a relaxing effect. And that relaxation does two things, which is it softens the muscles that frown, that pull the frown together like that. So you get a smoothing effect on your brow, and it kind of brings down the emotional temperature. It makes us feel more relaxed. And these are things that have been studied in a proper clinical trial. He put this mask to a clinical trial which was published in an aesthetic journal and which showed that it relaxes lines on the forehead. I mean, how amazing is that? You only need to wear it for 15 minutes to get these effects, but you can absolutely wear it like a normal sleep mask and keep it on all night. I mean, I particularly like it for getting back to sleep in the middle of the night, which is when I struggle with staying asleep. I thought I should talk a bit about how I use it, because I find it has such a soporific effect. It's so good for sending me to sleep, or at least putting me in the right frame of mind for sleep. My problem mainly with sleep is waking up in the middle of the night and just not going back to sleep, whether it's 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, whatever. But if I pop this on, then it's like an extra trick up my sleeve, and I can say to myself, right, lie down, be calm, this is going to send you back to sleep. And next thing I know, it's the morning. So how do you use the mask? Well, it couldn't be simpler really. You just put it on like that, and you get it so that the elastic is about level with the top of your ears, and the bubbles inside the mask are pressing on this triangle just above the center of your brows, and the pads around here are coming around the sides of the eyes. Now, a lot of people are asking about the skincare they can use with the mask. Is it okay to wear their usual skincare? Which of course it is. And you do want that skincare to have absorbed before you put it on, because if your face is slippery with night cream or face oil or sunscreen, if you're using it during the day, then these pads can't get a grip. And you want them to have a slight grip on the skin, because when you have them in place, just stick it back on, and then you try and, for example, scrunch up the side of your face, it's a real effort, so you're more inclined not to. Same thing with these ones here. If you try and frown with it on, it's an effort, so you don't. And that is a sort of very clear demonstration of how it works, that it just is encouraging your face to stay in this more serene aspect, which is what helps. But, you know, it is the pads pressing on the mechanoreceptors underneath, just gently, it hasn't got to be tight, that does the work. Then you just sit back and let it happen. Is this something you can use instead of Botox? Well, it can soften your lines a bit. I mean, it's not going to have that muscle damping down effect that injectable toxin will have, which will last for months. But this is obviously an entirely natural alternative. I mean, there's nothing in here apart from material. There are no electrical currents or crystals or heat pads or anything. It is just this mask, just those bubbles that are doing the job. There it is. I hope you love it. I absolutely love mine, and yeah, it goes most places with me.